Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about their new Star Wars TV shows and movies that are currently in the early development phase, and by the way, multiple different phases of development as well, and exactly what they are preparing to announce at Celebration of next year. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new universe between Favreau, Filoni, and Lucas is that they are all preparing for the best scenarios to really take place in different eras. So basically, their end game is to not only focus on the Mandoverse, but to also expand to other points in time of the Star Wars franchise, such as the Old Republic that's currently in the works, post-Episode 9 content, and a whole lot more to arrive within that roadmap that they will be unveiling next year. So on top of all of this, a lot of fans walked away from the sequel trilogy movies, or should I say, walked away from the franchise after the sequel movies. And it's been quite a process for Disney to try and attempt to bring back the old fans that really, announced that they were done with Star Wars a while ago. And though they may have obtained a couple, a good amount of those fans back, with, of course, The Mandalorian Season 2, with the return of Luke and all the other cameos, they're still trying to actually get a lot of those fans back that really still are very hesitant and or skeptical about the future. And that's exactly why I say this time and time again that it's going to take a consistent amount of successful stories to convince them to actually return. Now, with that being said, alright, with, of course, everything in motion now, given that both Favreau and Filoni are actively developing Mando 4, they are also set to make some big twists and turns within the Ahsoka series. However, it's described that behind the scenes, many adjustments are being made by both John and Dave. Now, it's described, however, that one of the big plans that John and Dave currently have for one of the upcoming Star Wars projects is rehiring Adam Driver, that is now currently in the process for a new post-Episode 9 Star Wars show that is set to focus on 10 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker, that will feature a story about the new Jedi Order. With actress Daisy Ridley already signed up to make a couple of cameos as Rey Solana, Adam Driver is now in the process of coming back into the Star Wars world. Now, John and Dave are said to actually have a big reveal for the return of Ben Solo in this post-Episode 9 series that is currently in the early stages and is being worked on already, that will be announced at Celebration next year as part of the new roadmap of the franchise. Now, let me just stop right here quick for a second before I get to the next thing. So, the thing about this that I think a lot of fans need to be very well aware of is the fact that Adam Driver has said this before in the past, that he wanted to take a lot of time away from Star Wars since the sequels came to a close, and he didn't really announce anything when it came to his involvement with, of course, anything post-Episode 9 related or pre-The Force Awakens related, right? So he's been a very quiet guy lately about his experience with Star Wars, and we haven't really heard much about him, or from him for that matter, since like over a year ago. And John and Dave bringing Adam Driver back into the equation, rehiring him, getting him in this post-Episode 9 series that will be announced next year, by the way, is going to be a big deal, even though it's just going to be a cameo or a couple of cameos. This is going to be a big deal for Adam Driver, because we're finally going to be able to see Ben Solo in all his glory in a very unexpected way by Favreau and Filoni that's really going to steer things in the right path. Now, I still stand by my opinion that I believe that Driver was probably the best part of the sequel movies. I think he really stood out. So, moving past all of this, alright, this is where things begin to really progress for, of course, the roadmap of the Star Wars universe, given that Chapek and the Disney executives are really planning something huge. Not just with the Mandoverse, but everything that comes after the sequel trilogy movies and the new Jedi Order, the new generation of the Jedi themselves, and a whole lot more. So, this is where things begin to actually get more involved. So, that being said, of course, this is where things really progress, is that it's currently, of course, unclear how Ben Solo will return in this new series, but Favreau and Filoni are said to be doing something truly original and unexpected for the fandom that will take them by surprise, that they did not see coming. Adam Driver has been in the talks with John and Dave about this project for the past 10 months, and is now officially signed on for the series to enter in as having 3 major cameos in the show that will serve well for the story. Further, it's noted that there is a reason a Force ghost of Ben Solo has yet to be revealed, and that a lot of this has to do with John and Dave actually creating something very original, and a big hint toward his return being something very different. Now, Driver's return as Ben Solo is described to be something completely new for the fans that will be new to the lore. So this opens up a lot of questions, right? How is Ben Solo going to return? Is it going to be a Force ghost? Is it going to be that he never really died? Could it very well have something to do with the world between worlds? I mean, the possibilities are endless. So, a little lore fact for you guys. I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you guys have read up on the Rise of Skywalker visual dictionary, you will learn that underneath the surface of Exegol, the Sith acolytes were actually looking for something very special underneath there. There is a vergence in the Force underneath the surface of Exegol, and as you all know, the world between worlds is connected to the vergence of the Force. And there's a big hint right then and there that underneath Exegol has a big connection to that realm. So, that's why a lot of fans out there are thinking that it could very well have something to do with the WBW, and or something to do maybe even with the Cosmic Force. So there's a lot at hand here, there's a lot at play with, of course, this Episode 9 series, or this post-Episode 9 era, I should say. And at the end of the day, too, Adam Driver coming back as Ben Solo in a completely new form is going to be quite interesting. So, from what it sounds like, to me at least, is that Ben Solo is either A, coming back as a Force ghost in a very different way than what we are used to, or B, it's that he never really died and has been stuck in the world between worlds for a very long time, and there's some kind of time differential there where he comes back and it's been either too long or too little of time for him. So there's an endless amount of possibilities here. It really sounds like that they are going to be doing something that's going to be quite stunning for the fans. Nonetheless, this Episode 9, or this post-Episode 9 series, is going to be announced next year, and we will be finding out more about this. Daisy has already signed on, so has Adam, as cameos of both Rey and Ben. This really is going to actually create this new era of the franchise that fans have been waiting for. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.